my name is Savi. I started going to Breaking the Mold Ministries a little late in the game. I think it was December, but God's timing is divine because I needed it then. I think I was super disconnected. I was still going to church, via Zoom, but I was just going through the motions, and I wasn't connecting with my community as much, so I kind of stopped going to Sabbath school. I wasn't really talking to, the women's ministry. I was folding into that pandemic feel and just like accepting it, but not in a good way. Just like, well, if we're gonna be depressed, let's be depressed and be real depressed. Do a good job at it. I wasn't caring at all. Somebody randomly posted in our group chat for a church that there's gonna be a Zoom call, and it was called Breaking the Mold, and the topic was coping with, I think, anxiety and depression. And I was like, hold up. Our Adventist church is talking about mental health and feelings and live, unedited, and it's youth. I was intrigued, flabbergasted. So I joined in and I felt safe. That first day I actually spoke and I cried because I'm a big baby, but I needed that. I was going through and I needed a place to just like really say how I felt and get it out, and no one knows me, no one knows my face because I had my camera off, so I was able to just like say how I felt and get it out. And what was even better though was I felt accepted. I felt safe. I felt heard. And that doesn't, for me at least, often happen in a church space, especially when I'm being like real about my emotions. It was a beautiful experience. Not me crying again. We're not gonna do it, I'm a big girl. But it felt really good to know that, one, I wasn't alone, that other people were feeling the same way, but two, to know that people cared. People that didn't even know me cared, and they want to talk about it, and they want to talk about solutions, and not just tell you I'm gonna pray for you, but go further and actually be your friend and actually be a family. It's been a blessing, and ever since then I've been going, and the topics are hard-hitting, and I often cry, but I often self-reflect, and I often learn new things about myself and new approaches that I can utilize at home with my family and with the people around me. And it's hard-hitting conversations, I didn't realize how much was missing from my church experience until I started going to Breaking the Mold. Like, we spoke about depression, anxiety, trauma, and gotten real about our trauma. And not only does Devonte speak himself, but he brings others on. And I think that's what really reeled me in. We have the doctors that come on, and each time they come on, I am questioning my life in a good way and really reflecting. They ask hard-hitting questions that, one, change your thought process about how God views you, but also challenge you to think about how you view God because of your traumas. So is your relationship with him a little bit strained because you dealt with something with a human that God didn't do, but a human did to you, and so now you're scared to trust God? And I never thought of it that way. In my mind, I was just navigating through life, just moving. And it feels really, really good to start thinking differently, to start to start moving in a new path, and not alone, but as a church. So join Breaking the Molds. Come and be part of the change, be part of a group of young adults and, some older adults, which I really appreciate that they come, because they give new perspective. They definitely give knowledge, and we're here really changing things, literally breaking the mold. It's beautiful.
Hi, my name is Clifton, and I joined Breaking the Mold Ministry about a year ago. I was invited through a mutual friend, and at first I was hesitant to join because my experience with religion and growing my relationship with God has always been performance-based. But after attending one service with the Breaking the Mold Ministry, it was easy to see that Devonte's service helped grow a personal relationship with God and not a relationship with God based on performance and performance in getting the grace of God. What I love about Devonte's service is that he uses real life examples and struggles that we're experiencing and finds examples in the Bible to connect the two. What this does for me is this allows me to see how God was able to impact the lives of those characters in the Bible and how God is impacting our lives, my life specifically today. I also love how the Breaking the Mold ministry doesn't hold a traditional service. Typically, in a traditional service, you would go in and you would receive the message and then you go home. However, in the Breaking the Mold ministry service, Devonte presents the information, and as most services, it allows you to reflect and it makes you think. After presenting the information, he opens the floor and he allows people to come and express how the information has impacted them. This is tremendously impactful because it allows me to express how I'm feeling or how the information has connected with me. And not only does it allow me to do that, but when others do that, it also helps me learn from how they have experienced the message or the service and allows me to learn from their experiences. That has helped me become a better listener. It has helped me help others and serve others in ways that may have been challenging before. And what I'm seeing in my participation in the service is I'm seeing an internal change. I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing healing. It's can be compared to a therapy session, because whenever I come to a service, a Breaking the Mold ministry service, I feel that a wound is opened up. And by the time that the service is done, I feel like the wound has been medicated and it's growing and it's healing. So Breaking the Mold Ministries is just invaluable, and I enjoy coming every Saturday.
Hello, my name is Charlene A, and I can tell you what is my experience in Breaking the Mold Ministry, which is BTM. For 2 years, 3 years, I would say, I wanted to find myself because I was going through so much traumas, so much emotions, negative emotions throughout my life, and to a point that I didn't really know exactly what to do. Then in 2020 hits, that's when COVID comes in, and I'm trying to search myself and what it is and how to get the help that I need. Even though I went to therapy, it wasn't enough for me. that being said, after I went to Breaking the Mold Ministries, I thought it was just nice, I thought it was just a nice, cute poster and whatnot. And then as I entered, I see people who are just like me going through these problems, those traumas that they have. But I was like, okay, I hope, there's more to it. And I kept on going and going. And I see people who has the same problems as me. With that being said, I will never forget what Devonte would say, like, pray on it. Even though he said it in generally, but it was speaking to me. So from there, I asked God, what can I do to get the help that I needed? If I'm going to prepare for life, I need to clear out every issues, every traumas and generational curses that goes on with my family, my friends, and myself. I need the help that I need. I need the help. Until one day I went to this holistic therapy and they perform this thing called a neuro-emotional technique. It was so good to a point that it helps me to find out those triggers in my life. And with that being said, I am better, so that's a good thing. And I'm like paying it forward. So I ended up helping and mentoring children as right now. So that's why I'm in and out of BTM. And I work more on myself. So there's times I'm here and there's times I'm not here. So I'm just going to say straight up, thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for everything. And hopefully, I hope you guys continue this ministry. And one of these days, this ministry will grow. It's going to grow to a point that at least few churches will come and support. Thank you so much, Devonte. Thank you, Donyelle, and the rest of you. I hope you have a wonderful year.
Hello, my name is Charlene. How I came to find out about BTM was through my good friend, Devonte Gilchrist. We've been friends for about 7 to 8 years now. And this is a man of God, okay? This is a man of God. He's a very caring and loving man, very funny, outgoing, very intelligent. I love BTM. I love BTM because I see BTM as a group therapy session. I have to say it. It's a group therapy session. Devonte talks about topics that are basically taboo, that the church won't talk about. They feel uncomfortable to talk about these topics. They want to brush it aside or put it under the rug or just or they may not find importance in it or maybe don't know how to bring it up. But I just love how God is using Devonte to talk about these topics because it's important. It's important and we need this kind of healing and we need to be able to discuss these topics because it helps us strengthen our relationship with God and be able to experience God on a whole nother level. We talk about topics like healing from trauma, being emotionally unavailable, mommy and daddy wounds. And these topics are so important. And just like experiencing God, and I like how Devonte asked us, on his service, that when we talk about these topics, for us to be real, to be practical, and to be biblical. So we go back and we refer back to the Bible after discussing these topics with each other. And he shows us just how other people in the Bible were experiencing the same thing and how God got them through and how we can learn from that as well. And how those characters in the Bible were able to strengthen their relationship and how we also can strengthen our relationship and how we can go back to God. I love that. I love BTM, Breaking the Mold Ministry. And I love the work that God is doing in Devonte. I love the work that he's doing in the BTM community, and I love the work that he's doing in me. And I just thank God. This is a different kind of church. This is a different kind of community. This is a community that I have always wanted to just feel like I can come as I am. Devonte allows everyone to come as they are. And that's great. This is what God wants. God tells us to come as we are when we come to him. He doesn't want us to put on a face or to pretend that we're not hurting or to pretend that we don't have wounds that are that needs healing. So yeah, I appreciate BTM. I appreciate the Devonte as a friend. I appreciate him as a pastor, and I'm just grateful for this ministry. And I cannot wait to see what God does with BTM next. Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Dr. David Sedlacek, and I am a professor at Andrews University in the Department of Discipleship and Lifespan Education. I know Pastor Devonte Gilchrist as a student as well as the leader of Breaking the Mold Ministries, BTM. Devonte is an exceptional person. He is bright. He knows about how to do relationships with young adults, particularly. Breaking the Mold Ministry has been an amazing part of the lives of so many young people, so many young adults who have come to that ministry. And Devonte, as the head of that ministry, has been so creative in designing programming for them that meets their needs today. He's not just a preacher. He's not just a cognitive thinker, even though he is certainly that too. But he knows how to apply the things he learns, the things he has experienced, how to apply those in very practical ways in order to meet the real heart needs of those to whom he ministers. Right now, his ministry is an online ministry, Breaking the Mold, but they also have retreats once a year, and my wife Beverly and I were privileged to be able to serve this Breaking the Mold community last summer as speakers at their retreat. What an experience that we had. What a thing he and his wife planned for this community. We're so glad to be a part of Breaking the Mold Ministries, to be affiliated with Breaking the Mold Ministries. Devonte is a young man, not just as I've described, who's creative and who sees the felt needs of people, but just as a man. He has a wonderful sense of humor. He is addressing his own issues, and he's very honest, open, transparent about those things. I could not want more in a pastor myself. So, that is my friend, Pastor Devonte Gilchrist.
To whom it may concern, my name is Julissa Cargill, and I am a member of Breaking the Mold Ministry, also known as BTM for short. BTM, Breaking the Mold. It's really what it says. I think the mold has been broken already. Devonte has just been this is what Breaking the Mold does to you. It makes you cry because it makes you see yourself. It makes you really dig deep, and it makes you really think about your experiences, what you've been through, how you interact with others, how you communicate. Communication. I grew up Adventist. My whole life was born and raised in the Adventist church, culturally Jamaican. So I think a lot of the culture has integrated into how I was raised. And as you can see, Adventists, we don't wear jewelry, about being modest and, just your body is a temple. But I think Breaking the Mold ministry has really made me see outside of the things that I've learned or the preferences or the culture, and really to have that relationship with God for myself and to see, okay, well, what does God say about me? What does my relationship with God, how does that reflect in how I treat others? I've struggled with people looking at my appearance and judging me based off of what I look like, saying that I don't have a relationship with God. And I spoke to Devonte about this, and he was very like, he has like this way of listening where just him listening makes you feel better before he even says anything. But he made me realize, like, hey, it's okay that if it looks different, everyone's not going to agree with what you do, what you say, what you wear, what you look like, or whatever the case may be. It's okay. So it's definitely helped me to, I guess, reflect and figure out, why do I believe certain things? Breaking the Mold Ministry is not just an Adventist group. It's a group of people who want to do this thing called life right and want to do it according to God's will. And I think that's so beautiful, because when you're able to take religion out of it and replace that with relationship, people open up more because they don't feel like they have to confined to certain rules or to do things a certain way or look a certain way. So Breaking the Mold Ministry has definitely helped me open up. Even, for me, has helped me to just understand the why, as opposed to just doing it just because. And now that I understand the why, or I'm learning the why, people looking in may not understand that because they're doing it on the just because. So I love that Breaking the Mold Ministry has been a faith-based ministry, has been a judgment-free zone, a safe, when I say safe space, I mean it's safe. Like, it's not safe, okay? Tears, snot, ugly cry, safe. Like, bearing it all out, naked in front of Jesus, safe. So this ministry has just been, man, it's been something that I've always wanted in the church, but nobody really wants to talk about those things. Nobody really wants to, it's prayed away or fasted away. You need more Jesus. Breaking the Mold Ministry, that's where it's at.